Welcome back to Reddit Story Time. Today we have 4 incredible stories. Let's dive right in.
Story number 1, entitled Mom Demanded Strangers Give Up Their Seats on a Train. Picture this, you're sitting in the cafeteria car of a train enjoying a coffee and a meal during the busy lunch hour. The place is packed, every table is taken, and then a mother walks in with her 2 kids, about 6 and 9 years old. Now, a normal person in this situation would grab their food and head to their seat, right? Not this mom. She plants herself in the middle of the cafeteria, puts on the most theatrical, sad face you've ever seen, and starts announcing loudly enough for everyone to hear, "Oh no, there aren't any seats for us." She stands there for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, every 2 minutes she repeats it. "There are no seats for us," looking around, trying to make eye contact with every single person, clearly hoping someone will feel guilty enough to give up their table. But here's the beautiful part. Nobody cared. Nobody batted an eye. Not one person moved. There were other parents with kids on the same train who simply grabbed their food and went to their seats like normal human beings. Eventually, a group got up and left, and the mom finally got her table. When her husband arrived, she immediately complained to him loudly that she'd been standing there and nobody gave up their seats for her, glaring at everyone with a sour look. The person watching this unfold said they felt genuinely satisfied. Because here's the thing, the world doesn't owe you a seat. If the cafeteria is full, you wait your turn like everyone else. You don't get to guilt-trip strangers into giving up their table because you chose to have kids.
And the verdict, everyone was right to ignore her.
Story number 2. A kid claimed an entire grocery store aisle, and his mom helped. This one is shorter, but it's so absurd it has to be shared. A woman was grocery shopping and headed into the baking aisle to grab some cinnamon. Simple enough, right? But when she got there, she found a kid sitting inside the shopping cart, not even in the seat, literally inside the cart. And his mom was pushing it while scrolling on her phone, completely checked out. When our shopper reached for the cinnamon, the kid started yelling. "No, go away, you can't be here." He kept escalating, screaming at a stranger for existing in a public grocery store. Now, most parents would immediately correct their child. Apologize, move the cart, not this mom. She looked up from her phone and gently told her kid, "You have to say please. Say, 'Go away, please,' then maybe the nice girl will go away." She was gentle parenting her child into demanding that a stranger leave a public aisle. She even started making hand gestures, waving at the shopper to leave. Our shopper did what any sane person would do. She ignored them completely, grabbed her cinnamon at her own pace, and walked away. Because this isn't your personal grocery store, kid. And ma'am, teaching your child to demand that strangers leave public spaces is not gentle parenting. It's raising a future entitled adult. In the words of Eric Cartman, "Whatever, I do what I want."
And the verdict, the store is for everyone. Story number 3, entitled Father Treats His Daughter's House Like a Free Hotel. This story is about an entitled father who treats his adult daughter's home like a free hotel, and the situation is worse than you think. The poster is the eldest daughter, and her father has this deeply ingrained expectation that because she's the oldest, she is his burden to carry. He doesn't ask to visit, he announces. He'll text a day or two before arriving, something like, "I'll be home on this date," no request, no asking how long he can stay, he just shows up, and when he does, he stays for weeks at a time, sometimes 3 weeks. Here's what happens during those visits. He doesn't clean up after himself. He stays out until 2 or 3 in the morning, and since he doesn't have a key, his daughter has to wake up in the middle of the night to let him in. He watches TV all day and night with every light on, falls asleep on the couch, and sleeps until 10 in the morning. He uses her toiletries, eats her food, washes his laundry every other day, and contributes absolutely nothing. No groceries replaced, no utility money offered, no help around the house, but it gets worse. He actually expects her to cook for him, making comments about how if she wants a husband, she needs to know how to take care of a household. This from a man who has been married 7 times. 7. He's a serial womanizer who manipulates insecure women into taking care of him. Cooking, cleaning, housing him. When she tries to set a boundary and asks how long he's staying, his response is, "Why? I'll let you know when I'm ready to leave." Oh, and here's the chilling part. She's caught him trying to take out a loan against her house to repair his own house in another state. She's also caught him trying to flip her home and rent it out so he could marry a younger woman. The house was left to her by her grandmother, who she cared for until death. Her father contributed nothing to that care, nothing to the home's upkeep, and yet he feels entitled to the property itself. She's dreading his next visit and fears that if she sets a real boundary, the relationship will be severed completely. And honestly, that might be the healthiest outcome. And the verdict, she owes him nothing.
Story number 4. Age restrictions don't apply to her kid, she insisted. This one comes from a dad whose wife took their son to an open gym at a community center. The gym has family hours, mostly for little kids, and then teen hours, which are for, actual teenagers. Their son was on a 12 and under basketball team, so 11 and 12-year-olds With about 10 minutes left in family open gym, in walk 2 kids from the former team. These are the kids whose parents think they're the next LeBron James. The most ball-hogging, aggressively competitive kids on the squad. And of course, they only get 10 minutes because family hours is ending. On the way out, the mom of one of these kids is at the front desk, arguing with the staff. Why can't her 12-year-old stay for teen open gym? The staff explains, politely, that one reason is that the teenagers don't want little kids on the court with them. Fair enough, right? Not for this mom. Her response: her son is better than most 13-year-olds anyway. She actually tried to argue that her 12-year-old should bypass an age restriction because he's talented at basketball. The poster noted he could write a whole book on how they fed this kid's monstrous ego. And that, right there, is the core of entitled parenting. It's not really about the gym access. It's about teaching your child that rules don't apply to them if they're special enough, that the world should bend to accommodate them because they are above average. News flash. Age restrictions exist for safety, fairness, and the comfort of everyone using the space. Your kid being good at basketball doesn't make him 13. And teaching him that rules are for lesser people is setting him up for a very hard reality check someday.
And the verdict: rules apply to everyone.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed these stories, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more. See you next time.